Okay then, good morning. Shall we start then? Right. So in the previous class, we will discussing about controlling, right? The last manager function, that is controlling. That means we are making sure that we are up to the standard, that we are going in the right path. That is, we are going to achieve our objective, or we are going as per our plan. That's what basically controlling does, right? So we'll see that what is our, we have a set standard is there, right? Then we see what is our actual performance. We'll compare them and find out whether there is any deviation or not. If there is a deviation, we'll analyze and find out what is the reason for such deviation, and finally we'll take corrective steps. So that's what controlling is. So the controlling can be used as a feedback system, and it can be used as a feed forward system also. So what is this feedback system? What is the principle of feedback system? The principle is basically that if, or rather, we can learn from our past experience, right? We can learn from whatever the mistakes have which we have done, right? So the feedback system refers to the process of adjusting future actions on the basis of the information about the past performance. So we know what we have done. On that basis, we are gonna decide upon our future, right? What we are gonna do on in the future. Maybe you have bought a certain company's mobile phone, right? So you are not satisfied with that performance. So in the future, when you are buying a new phone, you'll be taking other companies into consideration. Or if you are very happy with the performance when you're upgrading your phone, what will you do? You'll go for the same company, a better model of the same company, right? So that's based on how, what was your past experience, what was the past performance of that particular company's mobile phone, right? So how can controlling be used here? So uh, we have a desired performance there. That is, we have the standards which have been set. Now we have our actual performance, how we have performed, right? We have our actual performance. We have our uh, desired performance also. So what can we do? So we measure them. Okay, we measure the actual performance. How well did we do, right? So how well have we done? What was that? Okay. So how well have we done? So we measure our actual performance. Then we'll compare it with the standards. What is our standard? Have we met there, or have we reached there? Have we met the standard? And we'll identify the deviation. We'll analyze the cause of deviation, and we'll program for corrective measures. We'll try to make corrective steps, and then we'll implement it. Okay, that's the basically controlling. And when if controlling is used as a feedback system, where do we insert this implement corrections? Where do we implement this correction? We implement it the beginning. That's when we are giving the inputs, or when we are modifying or when we are designing the process. That is feedback system. Based on the result, it is happening. So the principle is everyone can learn from the past experience. Feedback control is the one in which the control is exercised on the results of the work. Okay, we are basing on the results. It is also called output control or corrective control or post-action control, because everything has happened. Okay, it is completed, and then only we are doing the analysis. That is feedback control, right? Now, what is feed forward? The feed forward means we are we are anticipating, the manager is anticipating the probable problem that may arise. Okay, and the manager is implementing that well before the work has started, right? Well before the work has started, the manager has implemented the uh, whatever the corrective measures has to be taken. So he knows, or she knows, what this is going to happen. So we have to correct this for this in the beginning itself. Uh, you should not write this in the exams and all, but to understand, you can use the example of a buffet. Okay, so in buffet, based on your past experience, you're paid a certain amount. You're paid 1,500 rupees for a unlimited buffet. What will you do? You will not go there and drink a lot of Pepsi or something, right? What you'll do, you'll go for the expensive items, right? So that you need to make sure that you are eating at least for 1,500. So you will not fill up with your salads or fruits or basically drinks, right? So based on your well before the implement, well before you're taking a plate and going and choosing the food, you have decided you are implementing a control measure well before that. Okay, so aim is to solve the problem before they occur. And what is the problem over here? In our case, maybe our stomach may get full. We may not be able to eat more than what we have paid, right? So here, the focus is on human resource, physical resource, and financial resource. So all the aspect has to be considered. The what is in my company, how many people are there, what is their capability, the human resource. Okay, what is the equipment available in my company, the physical resource, how much is the infrastructure in my company, and what is my financial aspect. You know, how well I in financially terms, right? So all these are taken considered, and basically all these are the inputs, right? So we focus on all the three inputs. So this control tries to minimize or prevent the performance deficiency through a precautionary control system. Okay, before the problem arises, we have put in a control, a precautionary control mechanism. Okay, so if that problem comes up, we can correct it out. So the success of the control depends upon the ability of managers to anticipate problems, achieve timely interventions. Right? We have set an example of the power bank. Right? What will happen if you have the power bank with you? What you will carry a power bank, because you know the phone may the charge may die, right? The phone may die. So uh, if there is no possibility for charging a mobile phone, you have to charge the mobile on the go. Then you will carry a charger. A power bank with you. So that becomes the uh, what you have anticipated a problem, and you have put in a control mechanism. Okay, the problem has not arisen yet, but you have put in a control mechanism well before that, right? So it's your ability to foresee this that will help you in being a help you in enforcing a good feed forward control system, right? Now what are the requirements are, we need to have thorough analysis. Okay, a thorough analysis of the plan and the control system, and we have to identify what are the important variables, input variables. So in this case, it is the charge, how much is the battery capacity, but how much are we going to use this, that becomes our variable, right? Then we'll have to develop a model. So model means it can be a simulation, it can be a physical model, or it can be on pen and paper. Okay, so we have to we have to develop a model. We need to review the model and see how the relations are there, how the parts work together, right? We say that manager should see everything on the whole. He should not see part. He should see everything in a complete sense, right? Then collect data based on the input variables, regularly assess them, and find out what is the impact and evaluate them, basically, right? And take actions to solve the problems indicated by the model, right? Now, if you are asked to compare the feedback and feed forward system, just write what is feedback forward system, and draw this output diagram. Block diagram. Right? So we have basically for any process, we say management as a system, right? So we say management as a system approaches. We'll have an input, we'll have a transformation process, and we'll have an output. And there will be external environment will be there. So input. So we have given an input, a transformation process has occurred, and we got an output. Okay. So actually, what is there? We know there is we have set up a standards. Okay, we have set standards over there, right? We need to achieve that. So we'll compare those two. Okay, and we'll know whether we have achieved or not. That will be a feedback. Okay, if it is the feedback system, so this feedback will be fed into the inputs or maybe to the process. Maybe our inputs were lacking, we'll put it to the inputs. Maybe our process was lacking, so we'll input it into the process. That is feedback system. Okay, in feed forward system, what will happen? We have the inputs, we have the process, we have the output. Okay, again we have a standards and we'll have a feedback. Okay, but in feed forward system, what we'll do, well before the program has started, we'll feed it into input. Okay, it may be fed into the corrections, may be fed into the inputs or maybe into the process. Okay, and inputs will also help in changing the feed forward, the feedback also. Okay, before the work starts itself, we do feed forward system. It is forward. Feedback means after, back, right? The feed forward system monitors inputs into a process to determine if the inputs are as planned, and if they are not, input or process is changed in order to obtain the desired results. Okay, so we are monitoring continuously. We are monitoring. So if you see is there something lacking, we have to take the corrective measures. Right now, what are the requirements for a effective control? So I believe you don't have any doubt in there. If you have any other, please let me know. Okay, now what are the requirements for a effective control? The first and basic thing is it should be tailor-made. Okay, the control should be, it is not universal. Okay, it's not a sock that fits everyone. So it should be tailor-made to the plan. It should be tailor-made to the position, or basically it must be tailor-made to the according to the job. Okay, what is the nature and need of the job, right? That should be how the control system should be made. So it should be tailor-made for the specific jobs. Then it should be again tailor-made to the individual managers. Okay, so I am manager is the one who is gonna implement it. So he must be well versed with it, right? He must be comfortable with that process. It must be made for him. Okay, it must be tailor made for him. Then sure, then we know. See, how are we controlling this process? We have certain points, right? We have certain control points, that is important junctions. So if we are talking in terms of civil, concreting will be very important step in whenever you are doing construction work. Okay, always the inspection will be coming for the concreting, and so when we are doing the concreting, we need to do concreting becomes a control point, making sure the control points are critical points. Like when we said for a chef who is monitoring many cooks, when will he taste the food? When all the ingredients has been added. Okay, after all the ingredients have been added, the chef will go and taste the food and say, okay, it's okay, or no, you have not. Or sometimes he may say, this is not up to the mark, you change some ingredient or add something, maybe like that, right? So it should be making sure the control points are critical points. Okay, just before adding any ingredient, you cannot go and check. So it's of wastage, right? Then the control should be objective, it should be accurate, it should be unbiased and impersonal. There should be no personal feelings with the thing. Right? Then it should be economical, easy to maintain, and basically it should be economical and easy to maintain. That means because more people are, if it is expensive and if it is difficult to manage, we may not carry out it into the future. We may do it once or twice, but it may not translate or carry on for the future purpose also. Okay, we may get fed up with it. So it should be very economical and it should be easy to maintain. Okay? They are more effective when they produce maximum at a minimum cost, like anything else. Then it should be flexible. That is, it should depend upon the scenarios. What is the environment? Okay, if environment changes, we should be able to change our control system also. Then it should fit the organization culture. It should lead to the corrective actions. Right? It should not show us, okay, there is a problem there. So we can identify the problem. Now what? So the answer to that question should be given by the control system. That is, who is responsible for the failure? Okay, why such a failure occurred? Okay, disclose where the failures are occurring, who is responsible for them, and what should be done. All these things has to be answered by the control system, right? So these are the effective requirements of a control system, right? The next thing is, we have been saying that there is control system. We have to do controlling. Now, how are we going to do this? So that we have 6 control techniques, right? There are 6. So basically, as we have been saying, there's no universally accepted control system for organization. Okay, so each organization has to develop its own control system that will suit its situation and requirements. Okay, that will be well versed for that particular organization, particular situation, right? So control systems are established at different levels and functional areas. So there will be many control system will be there. It's not that one common system for everything. At production level, there will be a control system. At financial, there will be control system. Yes, they will be interlinked. Okay, they may be interlinked, but there will be different control systems also at different levels, right? Lower level, mid level, and higher levels. Now, there are, as we have said, there are 6 control techniques. What are they? Budgets, financial statements, return on investment, Gantt chart, network analysis using PERT, and managing information system. Right? Out of this, you are familiar with budget, financial statement, return on investment, Gantt chart, and you have studied geographical information system, right? The previous semester. Now there it was geography, latitude and longitude. Here it will be management. Similarly, and network analysis and using PERT, you will be studying it in detail in the next semester. We will be just seeing what it is. Okay, just a brief introduction. You have a detailed, you have a subject itself on project management. So you'll be learning network analysis in the 7th semester. Okay, 7th or the 8th semester. So we shall see each one in detail now. So what is budget? So budget means it is the formulation of plans for a given future period. Okay, so budget is for future period in numerical terms. Okay, so it's a formulation of plans for a given future period in numerical terms. So budget, whenever you say what's the, it will be in numbers, right? Budget is the formulation of plans for a given future period in numerical terms. Okay, so budgets are statements of anticipated results in financial or non-financial terms. Okay, see, for us budget means financial. We have been familiar with whenever you say budget, how much is the budget for a phone? My dad will give me the 15,000. So my budget is 15,000. So us, it was always in financial terms. But it is not only in financial terms, it can be non-financial also. And what are the examples? It is units of output. Okay, like 1,000 pen. 1,000 pen. 1,000. It's our budget. So our plan is to produce 1,000. Okay, it will be machine hours. Okay, how many hours are we using this machine? So whenever we are planning for buying a new machine, we'll calculate this. So daily I'll be using this machine for this hours. Well, is it worth it? So sometimes I may use it for 1 or 2 hours. Okay, so I need not buy the machine. I can rent it out to machine hours. Okay, should I buy the machine or should I rent it out? So that will all depend upon the machine hours. Similarly for workforce also. So I may need the person only for a few days. So I will not give him a permanent post. It will be temporary. So until and unless the work is completed, he can there. So that budget will be his hours. Okay, work hours. The budgets are statements of anticipated results in financial or non-financial terms. Right? The budgets are formulated before the commencement of work. Okay, budgets are formulated before the commencement of work and become standards to measure, monitor, and control the work. Okay, so it's important to understand where do we start. We are starting it before the work. Okay, the budgets are formulated before the commencement of work and becomes a standard. So budget is one of our standard. Have we met the budget? Okay, was our production within the cost, within our budget? We have put in a budget of 10 lakhs, suppose. Okay, have we able to complete the production in that time or not, within that budget or not? So that becomes a standard, right? So budgets are formulated before the commencement of work and become standards to measure, monitor, and control the work. So basically, it is a standard. Budget is a standard. So that's how we are doing the controlling. So see, yeah, what are we talking about? We are talking about a control technique. So budget, how is budget control technique? Because we formulate the budget well before the work. Okay, so I will be using the machine for 20 hours. So have I used the machine for 20 hours or not? Is the budget 10 lakhs met or not? Right? So it can be used to coordinate other activities and feedback and improve planning and controlling. Right? So examples of budget, just for your knowledge, one is capital expenditure budget. Okay, it is a financial statement specifying the amount of money to be spent on items that have long-term use, such as land or buildings. Capital expenditure. Okay, that I'm going to buy it, so it becomes my capital. So how much am I going to spend for capital expenditure? Right? Then another example is sales budget. It shows the expected number of sales per sales units and expected price. Okay, we are going how much are we going to sell? Okay, have you met the target or not? Usually we hear have you met the target? The target means that budget. Okay, that's the sales budget. So I need to get an amount of so much X amount from the sales. So in order to get X amounts, I need to sell Y units, right? Basically, what is budget? So budgets are uh, they are anticipated statements, right? They are anticipated results. They are results of. Yes, I'm sorry. They are statements of anticipated results. So it can be in terms of financial terms or non-financial terms. Financially, in terms of money, or it may be in units of work, machine work, human work, or units of output, etc. Right? So one thing is it should be in numerical terms. That's the important thing. Okay, and we are doing it for future. We are forming it before the commencement of work, and that's the standard, right? So that's about budget. The uh, second one is financial statements. Okay, the financial statements they are prepared at the end of every financial year. Okay, so don't get confused. Budget are prepared before the work, and financial statements they are produced. They are prepared at the end of every financial year. And why do we do that? To assess the various financial activities and strength of an organization. So how good am I? Okay, how what is my situation? What is my am I going in profit or am I going in loss? Okay, so what is that is the strength of an organization. We have two commonly used financial statements. One is balance sheet. You have heard it somewhere or not, right? The balance sheet is a statement of assets and liabilities. Okay, asset means whatever what and all I have. Maybe the land, building, the machinery, okay, the people. Those are my assets and liabilities. Whether am I having loan? Okay, I may have to pay my suppliers, so that becomes my liabilities. So it's a statement of assets and liabilities, which helps to determine the financial position of a on a particular date. So if my assets are more than my liabilities, then I'm okay, right? At least for the time being, I'm okay. I should make sure that always my assets are more than my liabilities. It gives me help me understand the financial position on a particular date. It is basically a historical report showing the cumulative effect of past transactions. Right? See, my assets are increasing or my liabilities are increasing or decreasing. It will be based on what have I done in the past. Okay, I bought a land, so my asset increased. Right? I bought a land taking a loan, but I was mistaken. Okay, the land is not that much worth. Doesn't have that. It's not that worthy, right? So my liability has increased. So it will depend upon my what have I done in the past. So it's basically a cumulative report on the past actions. That is the first one. Okay, first financial statement. An example of financial statement, uh, balance sheet. The second one is income statement or profit and loss account. Okay, the income statement means it's a statement prepared at the end of every accounting year to ascertain the profit earned or loss incurred from the business during that accounting year. Okay, so again, see, basically we said it's a financial statement, right? So financial statements are prepared at the end of every financial years. So in what does this income statement show? Income statement, what have I earned? What is my profit? Okay, so maybe it may be I am in loss. It may be in terms of loss also. So how much is my loss? So for that particular year, okay. When I'm talking about 2021, how much have I cost in or 2021, what is my profit in 2021 or what is my loss in 2021 for that particular year? So that's about financial statement. So first one is budget. The budget is we prepare for the future, right? Before the commencement of work. These financial statements they are prepared after after the work, right? Every end of the financial year, right? So both are in terms of numerical terms, but budget can be financial and non-financial. Financial statements are in terms of money only, right? The third control system is ROI, return on investment. Okay, how much is rate of return or return on investment? So it is the rate of return of a company that can earn on the capital allocated to it. Okay, so I have spent the money. So in order to start my venture, start my company, I have invested, right? I have bought a land, I have set up a building, I have put in the machinery, I have hired staff, so I have made an investment. Okay, what is the return from that? Okay, it measures the profit as a return on the capital used for producing them. Okay, so how much am I getting back? I have spent 10 lakh on the land. I spent 20 lakhs on the building, maybe 30 lakhs on the machineries, 10 lakh on people. The 10, 20, 30, 10. Okay, 60, 70 lakhs I have spent. Maybe expenses are 5 lakhs. 70, 75 lakhs is my what I have put in my capital, right? So how much am I returning? How much am I profit am I getting? So ROI, okay, rate of income is net profit divided by cost of investment into 100. So investment means fixed asset plus working capital used in business, right? So what should be the ROI? ROI should be high. We should have profit should be more, right? ROI, see, cost of investment is fixed. Okay, it's more or less fixed. It may change if we have to upgrade the machinery or some machine fault occurs, but more or less it will be fixed. But it should be what should be our aim? Our aim should be profit should be high. So if ROI is high, then the financial performance of the business is good. Right? I am getting more profit. Right? Numerator is high, so then only the value will become high. If the profit is decreasing, I am doing bad. So my thing should be ROI should be high. The return on investment should be high. If the return of investment is high, then financial performance of the building of the business is good, and vice versa. Meaning, if the ROI is low, financial performance is bad. Okay, so ROI is a tool to improve financial performance. So I can see, so I can take the example of maybe past 5 years of ROI. If I am seeing a dip, it is declining, then I need to make a correction quickly. Otherwise, my company would have to be closed up, shuttered down, right? If my ROI is increasing, so I know there is a good, then I can make more and more, make sure that then my ROI keeps on increasing, right? So that is the third one, rate on investment, return on investment, right? So first one is budget, second one is financial statement, third one is return on investment. The fourth one is Gantt chart. So Gantt chart, I believe we have all drawn, at least in the school level. You might have drawn the Gantt charts, or not Gantt chart, bar chart. Okay. So Gantt chart is a variation of bar chart. So this was developed by Henry L. Gantt. Again, you learn this in the next semester. It's semester you learn in detail. You learn how to draw a Gantt chart and all. Okay. For the time being, just understand what it is. It's a bar chart showing the relationships on the activities on a time scale. Okay, it's ideal for tracking the progress of work. The number of days required for completing work can be compared with the planned number. The goal can be shown as a series of interrelated works. Gantt chart consists of two coordinates. The horizontal shows time and the vertical shows jobs or activities. Right? The activities are shown in the form of bars. The length of the bar shows the time taken to complete the chart. So this is a typical bar chart. Okay, so here as you can see on the x direction, okay, it is 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, right? So that shows the time. And the y direction, okay, that is tasks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are tasks. Okay, and what is this length shows? The length of the bar chart shows how much is the time taken for completing the activity. So task 1, it took 0 to maybe 1 or 2, right? It took 2 units of time. If this is a month, it took 2 months. Maybe we can talk in terms of days. So it took 2 days to complete task 1. So what can you say from the task about task 2? Task 2 started only after the completion of task 1, right? The task 1 has completed, then only task 2 started. Okay? Task 2 will start on the second day, okay? And it will finish on the 8th day, right? Task 3, it will start on the 8th day. So what does it mean? So the person who has to perform the task 3, he should come only on the 8th day of the work, right? He should come only on the 8th day, because on the 8th day is the day which we are gonna do the task. Okay, only after task 1 and 2 is completed, only task 3 can be done. So in our terms, we can say we need to build a house, right? So we are gonna excavate. So only after the excavation is completed, then only the concreting person can come. The PCC can be laid to lay in the foundation works, right? So first we have to, or before that, we need site clearance. Okay, site clearance, only after site has been cleared, then only the we can put in the layout. Kuchedi. We said it. We can put in the layout, then only we can do the excavation. We can trenching. Okay, so task 1 is site clearance. Task 2 is trenching, making a hole, right? Foundation earthwork. Task 3 is laying in the foundation works. So like that, right? So x direction shows time, y direction shows the work, okay, task, and this can show what is the relationship between the event, right? So here task 1 gets complete on the second day. Task 2 will start on the second day. It will complete on the it will get completed on the 8th day. Task 3 will start on the 8th day. It will get completed on the 16th day, like that. Okay, we can get an idea. So total, in order to complete this work to complete, we need 25 days. Okay, so maybe what will happen sometimes, these tasks may overlap. Okay, I may be doing electrical work, and at the same time itself my plumbing works may also happen. So tasks can overlap also. Okay, the Gantt chart shows the time relationship between the events of an production. It's easy to understand because visually we can see. So just by looking at this chart, I can see the task will get completed on 25th day. If I know what is task 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, then I know when I have to allocate the person. Okay, task 4 starts only at 16th day. So the person who has to do the task 4 should come in only 16th day, right? But what will happen here? Only 5 tasks are there. So what will happen if there are hundreds of thousands of tasks? It will become very complicated. So bar charts are not, we are not using it for construction and purpose and all. We are using less and less. Okay, but it is a mechanism for control. So by looking at this, I should, if my work is not up to the mark, see, on the 7th or the 8th day, task 2 should be complete. And if it is not complete on the 8th day, meaning there's some fault, something is wrong, right? So I can make the corrections for that. So, I can say it should be completed on the 8th day. If it is, I feel that it's not gonna be completed on the 8th day, I can say, okay, you have to work extra time, put in extra labor, put in call up for extra person, and complete the work so that task 3 can start on time. Because what will happen if task 2 delays, task 3 will delay, task 4 will delay, task 5 will delay. So my time schedule of 25, my standard of 25 will not be met. Okay, clear? So it does not show, one thing is, it does not show critical activities. Okay, there are certain activities that is critical. So why do we call them critical activities? Because if they get delayed, the entire process will get delayed. Okay, there are certain activities that you will know only after analyzing only. Okay, there is a term called critical activity, and the importance of critical activity is that if that particular activity is delayed, all the activities will be delayed. Okay, we will not be able to meet our time. Okay, for example, here task 1 is a critical activity because if task 1 is delayed, task 2 will be delayed, right? So we can actually we can say only after analyzing only critical path. Okay, so just understand the terms. It is also not clear about which activity has to be completed before the other activity begins. Okay, that will depend upon the project, but here it is clear. In this scenario, it is clear, but in certain bar charts, the scenario may be such that it is not clear also. Okay, so the first one is we have the budgets. Second one is we got second one the financial statement. The third one is rate of return or rate of investment or return on investment. Fourth one is Gantt chart. Okay, the fifth one is network analysis. Okay, network analysis using PERT. It's again similar to what we have seen. Okay, so network analysis is a technique used for planning and control of large projects. Okay, you may not understand it completely, but try to do it, right? So okay, this is an example for a network. Okay, this is an example for a network analysis. So you can see there is many tasks 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are all events. Okay, 1, 0, 2. We have got 13 events. Right? So each event has a description. So 1, it is excavating, pouring footers. 2, pouring concrete foundation. So meaning this it's 2, right? So arrow 1 to 2 means we are going to pour the concrete. Okay, this is a network. Then 4 is install sliding. So between 3 and 4, we will be doing sliding will be installed. 5 will be installed plumbing. So between 3 and 5, we will install plumbing. 6 is install electrical. So between 3 and 6, we will be installing electrical works. So that will depend. Okay, it's an example of a network. Okay, so we can analyze. This is a network. So for analyzing a particular network, we have two methods. One is PERT and the other one is CPM. PERT stands for Program Evaluation and Review Technique. PERT. Program Evaluation and Review Technique is a project management tool based on network analysis that helps manager to plan, manage, and control large projects. Right? Just understand what network means. It's the figure which we draw. You will draw these things. You'll have to do PERT. You'll do the analysis. Okay, so PERT is used to analyze the time needed to complete each task and identify the minimum time required to complete the project. In the first case, in the Gantt chart, we saw it is 25 days. Right? And similarly, in this case, we'll analyze this network. I think the net is slow. So in this, we'll analyze this network. First, we'll draw this network. Okay, so we'll draw this network, and then we'll analyze program evaluation review technique. We'll analyze this network, and we'll find out how much is the time. Okay, in order to complete the event 13th. What is the time required? Okay, and which is the critical path. That means the longest path. Right? Just understand the terms. So what are the steps involved in network analysis? The first one is identifying, specifying the individual activities. Like we are install electrical, install plumbing, right? So the first step is specifying the individual activities. So that should be fixed. There should be only one. Individual need to have multiple, but start there should be one. Determine the sequence of activities. Arrange them in a logical sequence, like we are seeing. So after foundation, after earthwork, then foundation. So you cannot put foundation first and then earthwork, right? Only after you are dug up, then only you can do the foundation work. It should be in logical sequence. Then draw the network diagram. Basically, what we are seeing, it shows the relationship between the activities. Then estimate the time for completion. How much time do we need for completing the particular activity? Then identify the critical path. To identify the critical path means it is the longest path. Okay, so it is the longest path, and it shows the minimum time to complete the project. We'll see tomorrow also. Don't worry, but just read through this. Use the network to plan, schedule, and monitor and control the project. So this network can be used just like we are seeing in the Gantt chart. When project to task 2 has to be completed by 8th day. So if it's not going to complete, so I know that my project will be delayed. So I can plan, I can schedule, I can monitor, and I can control. Right? I know if 8th day it is not. I have a plan for the third task to start on 8th day. But if task 2 is not able to complete, I'll make sure that it is completed on before the 8th day. Right? So just go through this portion, get an understanding. We'll have a discussion about it tomorrow. So we'll stop here for today. Taken some more time, right? So